Want to speak real Greek from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at GreekPod101.com.
You've decided to study a new language, so now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1. Create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2. Make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3. Find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4. Use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now. Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1. Shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So, access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye! Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day.
Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest, most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned how to use the verb αρέσω. Now we will jump into our lessons on question words in Greek. Our first one is the most commonly used question word, which, as you will see, is used pretty much the same way as in English. So you'll be able to use it right away. You call up your Greek friend and want to ask what he's doing. How will you do it? You'll ask, τι κάνεις? So let's break down this question. Τι is what, and κάνεις is the second person present tense form of the verb κάνω, which we already studied. So altogether, it is τι κάνεις? What are you doing? This question can be used both literally, as in what is it that you're doing now, or as a casual greeting, the equivalent of the English how do you do. You may remember that we mentioned this in our lesson about greetings. If you want to use it in a more formal setting, you will still use τι, but the verb κάνω will be in the second person plural, κάνετε. So the question will be τι κάνετε. So where else can we use τι? One of the most common uses is in relation to time, like when you ask, what time is it? The question in this case will be τι ώρα είναι? The T part I already explained. Ώρα literally means hour, but on some occasions, like here, it's also used to mean time. and είναι means is, the third person form of the verb είμαι, to be. So altogether we have, what time is it? Another time you can use it is related to meals. Instead of asking, what do we have for dinner? Or what do we have for lunch? In Greek you can simply ask, τι φαγητό έχουμε? Which means, what kind of food do we have? Now it's time for Chris's insights. If you have Greek friends, you might notice that some people will answer with T when they are called by name. This is like an abbreviation of τι είναι, meaning what is it, or τι θέλεις, what do you want. This is very common among young children when their parents call them, but adults also use it. Even though it's not wrong, it's extremely casual and bordering on rude. So, even though your friends might use it, I suggest avoiding it. In this lesson, we learn how to translate the word τι, meaning what. In our next lesson, we will talk about where questions. I'll be waiting for you in the next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Γεια σας! Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask what questions in Greek. This time, we're going to ask where questions. Imagine you call up your friend and want to ask where he's now. You will ask him, πού είσαι? First, we had πού, which is the basic translation of where in Greek. And then, είσαι, which is are, the second person form of the verb είμαι, which we have already studied. Like usual, we don't use the personal pronoun εσύ because it is understood from the verb. So altogether, it is πού είσαι, where are you? Πού είσαι. So in Greek, where is mainly translated as πού. For example, if you want to ask, where do you live? You will say, πού μένεις. The construction is the same as in English, the question word followed by the verb. This word can be very useful when trying to find your way around. For example, you might ask, where is the metro station? Πού είναι ο σταθμός του μετρό? Or, where is New Athens Hotel? Πού είναι το ξενοδοχείο New Athens? In all these examples, we used πού with the verb είμαι, to be. But you can also use it with many other verbs. One very useful combination when asking for permission is with the verb μπορώ, which means can. So where can I buy tickets will be πού μπορώ να αγοράσω εισιτήρια? Now it's time for Chris's insights. If you find yourself living in Greece, or if you go there on a trip, you might hear this phrase, από πού είσαι? This means, where do you come from? Do you remember how to answer this question? If not, review our lesson on nationality. In this lesson, we learn how to correctly use the Greek word for where, πού. Now you can avoid getting lost. In the next lesson, we'll learn more about asking questions, this time using when in Greek. I'll be waiting for you in the next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Γεια σας! Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask where questions in Greek. This time, we're going to ask when questions. You want to know when your roommate is coming back home. You can ask him, πότε θα γυρίσεις στο σπίτι? So let's break down this question. First, we had πότε, which is the basic translation of when in Greek. Θα γυρίσεις is the verb to come back, γυρίζω, in the second person future tense. You may remember that we mentioned this verb in our lesson about the verb έρχομαι, meaning come. Then we have στο, which is a contraction, or as we say in grammar terms, εσυναίρεσης between the preposition σε and the article το. Σε expresses the concept of location such as at, in, on, and to the. Such contractions between σε and articles show us the direction of movement or location in general. Then finally, we have σπίτι, which is home. So altogether, it is πότε θα γυρίσεις στο σπίτι? When will you come back home? So in Greek, when is generally translated as the word πότε. So if you want to ask when were you born, you would say πότε γεννήθηκες? Πότε γεννήθηκες? Let's have a look at another example. How can you say when did you arrive? It is really simple because it's exactly the same pattern. Πότε έφτασες? First we have πότε, which is when. The second word is έφτασες, which is the verb φτάνω in second person past tense. Πότε έφτασες? You can also ask a question about duration, like since when have you been a teacher? Από πότε είσαι δάσκαλος? To make the phrase since when, we say από πότε in Greek. Από means from. So a literal translation would be from when have you been a teacher? How about until when in Greek? The pattern is the same as since when, but instead of από, we use either μέχρι or ως, which both mean until. So for example, if you want to ask a friend, until when are you going to stay here? You could say either ως πότε θα μείνεις εδώ or μέχρι πότε θα μείνεις εδώ. Of course, there are other ways to ask about time. You can even be more specific by asking about the year or the date. For example, you can ask, which year did you start working? Which will be ποιον χρόνο άρχισες να δουλεύεις? And which day do you prefer? Which will be ποια μέρα προτιμάς? Now it's time for Chris's insights. There is one pronunciation detail that I should stress. Be careful that the accent goes on the first syllable, πότε. If you put the accent on the second syllable, for example, ποτέ, it won't make much sense since this is another word meaning never in Greek. Please remember this. In this lesson, we learn how to correctly use the Greek word for when, πότε. In our next lesson, we'll learn about asking questions with who in Greek. I'll be waiting for you in the next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Γεια σας! Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask when questions in Greek. This time, we're going to ask who questions. Imagine you are in a party and a girl you don't know sits next to your friend. They seem to know each other, so you might want to ask your friend, who is that girl? What you can say is, ποια είναι αυτή η κοπέλα? Ποια είναι αυτή η κοπέλα? So let's break down this question. First we have ποια, which means who in Greek, when you are inquiring about a female. Remember that Greek is a gender language, which means that nouns, pronouns, adjectives, articles, and so on have all 3 genders, masculine, feminine, and neuter. Ποια is the feminine version of who. Then we have είναι, which means is. I'm sure you already know that it is the third person singular form of the verb είμαι, which we have already studied. Αυτή means this when we refer to a female. And finally, η κοπέλα means girl, with η being the article of the noun κοπέλα. Altogether it is ποια είναι αυτή η κοπέλα? Who is that girl? So if ποια is the feminine version, what happens with the masculine and neuter? Masculine who is ποιος, and neuter who is ποιο. As you can see, the 3 words sound pretty much the same, only the last letter changes to show the gender. So to recap, we have ποιος είναι αυτός ο άντρας? Who is this man? Ποια είναι αυτή η γυναίκα? Who is this woman? Ποιο είναι αυτό το παιδί? Who is this child? Because of genders in the Greek language, ποιος, ποια, and ποιο can be used for asking about both people and inanimate objects. In English, they translate as who in the first case and as which or what in the second case. So they can be used to ask about pretty much anything. For example, you could ask which bus goes to the Acropolis, Athens' most famous ancient building. Ποιο λεωφορείο πάει στην Ακρόπολη? Or instead, which metro line goes to the Acropolis? Ποια γραμμή μετρό πάει στην Ακρόπολη? Or even, what street is this? Ποιος δρόμος είναι αυτός? Now that you understood the three versions of ποιος, I will explain one more feature of Greek. Luckily, this is something you already know from English. Greek has singular and plural, which means that these question words also have singular and plural versions. Until now, we have only mentioned the singular, but what happens if you want to ask about more than one? Let's see the previous examples in plural. Ποιοι είναι αυτοί οι άντρες? Who are these men? Ποιες είναι αυτές οι γυναίκες? Who are these women? Ποια είναι αυτά τα παιδιά? Who are these children? As you can see, when we go from singular to plural, everything changes. Ποιος becomes ποιοι. Αυτός becomes αυτή. Ο becomes η. And άντρας becomes άντρες. This might sound a bit confusing at first, but as you get more used to Greek, it will fall into place. For the moment, just remember the 3+3 versions of the question word, which means who, which, or what. Ποιος, masculine singular. Ποια, feminine singular. Ποιο, neuter singular. Ποιοι, masculine plural. Ποιες, feminine plural. Ποια, neuter plural. Now it's time for Chris's insights. If someone that you didn't expect is knocking at your door in Greece, you can ask ποιος είναι before opening the door. This means who is it in casual Greek. Even more casual would be a plain ποιος, but this borders on the rude, so I would suggest avoiding it. In this lesson, we learn how to use who in Greek. The next lesson will be our last of this absolute beginner series. We will deal with the last question word γιατί, which means, well, I'll tell you what it means in the next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Γεια σας! Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest, the most fun way to learn Greek. In our previous lesson, we learned how to ask who questions in Greek. This time, we are going to ask why questions. Your boss is giving you a call because you are not at work today. He might ask you, γιατί δεν είστε στο γραφείο σήμερα? So let's break down this question. First we had γιατί, which is the basic translation of why in Greek. Δεν είστε is the second person plural of the verb είμαι in the negative form. The second person plural or formal you is being used here for politeness. Then στο γραφείο, which is at the office. And finally σήμερα, which is today. Altogether, it is γιατί δεν είστε στο γραφείο σήμερα, meaning why aren't you at the office today? So in Greek, γιατί is the translation of why, used to ask the reason for something. If you find yourself in more trouble with your boss, you might hear γιατί αργήσατε σήμερα? This means why are you late today? Another common usage of γιατί is to ask the objective of something. But in this case, it is split into two words, για and τι. Για means for and τι means what. So in this case, γιατί is closer to the meaning of what for or for what. For example, γιατί το χρησιμοποιούμε αυτό? This means what is this used for? Now it's time for Chris's insights. A commonly used expression in Greece is γιατί όχι, which means why not. You can use it to accept a proposition if you're not really excited about it. For example, if a friend asks you suddenly, why don't we go to the movies tonight? Or, τι λες για σινεμά απόψε? You can answer, γιατί όχι, why not? This lesson is the last of this absolute beginner video series, ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. You already know how Greek works, so I hope you will continue and learn more about this ancient but still fascinating language. To take your language ability to the next level, check out GreekPod101.com, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Greek. Γεια σας!
Hi, my name is Eleni, and we will do today the Greek weekly words. So let's see what is the theme of today. The theme is hobbies. Σερφάρω στο διαδίκτυο. I'm surfing the net. So σερφάρω is an English word, but we use it also in Greek. It's something that a lot of people, young people are doing today. Πολλοί νέοι σήμερα σερφάρουν στο διαδίκτυο. A lot of young people today are surfing on the net. The next one is παίζω ένα μουσικό όργανο. I'm playing a musical instrument. You can ask someone, τι μουσικό όργανο παίζεις? What musical instrument are you playing? And the other can answer you, παίζω πιάνο, παίζω βιολί. I'm playing piano, I'm playing violin. Χορεύω, dance. They are dancing traditional Greek dances like καλαματιανό, πεντοζάλι. You can say that, okay, today let's go to dance. Σήμερα πάμε να χορέψουμε. Παίζω σκάκι, play chess. I'm actually playing chess and I love that. I will say to my friends, πάμε να παίξουμε ένα σκάκι. Let's go play chess. Sing a song, τραγουδώ ένα τραγούδι. And this is also something that Greek people like very much with dancing, so they are dancing and singing all the time. So you can see people in the streets walking and just, a little bit singing like with a small voice, but anyway, they are still singing when walking. Τραγουδώ ένα τραγούδι. I'm singing a song. If you want to learn more Greek words, please check our website, greekpod101.com. Yes, thank you very much for watching us. Goodbye. Γεια σας. Hi, my name is Eleni and we will do the Greek weekly words today. So let's see what is the word of this week. Fruits, fruta. So the first word is ananas, pineapple. We don't have a lot of pineapples in Greece, but we had different kind of fruits actually. We had a lot of grapes, so staphylia. We have a lot of oranges, portocallia. We had a lot of mandarins, so mandarinha. Pear, a lot of pears, so αχλάδια. Δεν έχουμε καθόλου ανανάδες στην Ελλάδα. We don't have at all pineapples in Greece. Πεπόνι, melon. We love melon in Greece and we eat it very much during summer because it's very fresh. Να σου κόψω λίγο πεπόνι για να δροσιστείς. Do you want me to give you some melon to refresh yourself? Μήλο, apple. Ένα μήλο την ημέρα, το γιατρό τον κάνει πέρα. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. Φράουλα, strawberry. Μ' αρέσουν πάρα πολύ φράουλες. I love strawberries. Μ' αρέσουν πάρα πολύ τα milkshake με γεύση φράουλα. I love very much strawberry milkshakes. Πορτοκάλι, orange. So in Greece we are using a lot of the orange peel and we use it to make some cakes. Χρησιμοποίησα τη φλούδα του πορτοκαλιού για να δώσω άρωμα στο cake. I used orange peel to give a particular aroma to my cake. Thank you very much for watching us. If you want to leave your comment, please feel free to let us know what do you like. And if you want to learn more Greek words, take a look on our website, so greekpod101.com. And thank you very much again and goodbye. See you. Hi, my name is Eleni, and we will do the Greek weekly words together. So let's see what is the theme of today. Rooms. So, δωμάτια, and let's find out the first word. Saloni, living room. Saloni, living room. The saloni, the living room, is a very particular room in a Greek house. We can say, τι όμορφο σαλόνι που έχεις. Oh, what a wonderful living room you have. Τραπεζαρία, dining room. Τραπεζαρία. Dining room. Θα φάμε στην τραπεζαρία. We will eat in the dining room. Κουζίνα. Kitchen. Κουζίνα. Kitchen. Περνάς πάρα πολλή ώρα στην κουζίνα. So you are spending a lot of time in the kitchen. Μπάνιο. Bathroom. Στο σπίτι μου έχουμε 2 μπάνια. In my house we have 2 bathrooms. In Greece we have in general 2 bathrooms, one for guests and one for family. The bathroom for guests is always very clean and very proper, and the bathroom for the family it's in general the opposite, so with a lot of things. Υπνοδωμάτιο, bedroom. Υπνοδωμάτιο is the room where you are sleeping. Yes, in Greek houses we have also υπνοδωμάτια. Το αγαπημένο μου δωμάτιο σε ένα σπίτι είναι το υπνοδωμάτιο. My preferable room in a house is the bedroom. Yeah, it's a little bit a cliché, but I think that Greek people appreciate very much the bedrooms, and they are taking also some nap during the day, normally between 2 until 5. And this period we call it ώρες κοινής ησυχίας. And this is the end. Thank you very much for watching us. If you want to leave a comment and let us know what is your preferable room in your house and why, please check out our website, so greekpod101.com. Thank you very much for watching us today. And see you next week. Goodbye.
Hey everyone! Welcome to your monthly review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, new study tools, resources, and where we show off learners like you speaking the language. That is, if you're brave enough to participate and become language learning famous. All the materials mentioned in this video are available for you right now on our website. Click the link in the description to sign up for your free lifetime account and start speaking in minutes. Okay, today's topic is why your worst days are the best days to study. So, have you ever had a day where you planned on learning language and you just couldn't go through with it, even if learning a new language is your personal goal, something that you really want? Well, today you're going to learn 1, why these bad days happen, and 2, why you'll get your best work done on your worst days. Let's start. Why bad days happen with language learning. When I say bad days, I don't mean when you're too busy or when life gets in the way. These things are unavoidable. I mean days when you're just not in the mood. It's a perfectly good day, the sun is shining, no bad news, but you just can't get yourself to study. You're just wasting the day. So, here's why they happen. First, it's the law of diminishing returns in action. What does this mean? Think of it as eating pizza every day for 5 days a week. On the first day, the first 2 slices are great, but by the 3rd one, you're feeling queasy. It's not as good. And by the 5th day, you're sick of pizza. That's the law of diminishing returns, when the benefits start decreasing over time. And it happens with language learning. When you first start, you learn a lot of phrases and it feels good. You're excited. But as time goes on, you don't feel like you're learning much, and this affects your mood and motivation, so you're not as excited to learn anymore. So you start having bad days. Second, bad days happen because you overthink things and ruin it for yourself. It's like dreading going to the gym. Let's say you went yesterday. You have to go again today. So you're dreading it all day long. I gotta go again. You set yourself up for a bad mood and a bad day. Third, bad days are a natural part of the cycle. Some days will be good. Most days you'll feel indifferent. Some days will be bad. But that's completely natural, and anyone with long-term projects and goals feels the same. And fourth, you can't be on 100% of the time. So just like days can't always be good, you too can't always be on and ready to go all the time. Again, just a realistic and expected part of the journey. Now, let's jump into the second part. Why you'll get your best work done on your worst days. So, why will you get your best work done? First, it's not that bad once you start. Once you've spent 10 or 15 minutes learning a language, it's not so bad. People say the same thing about the gym. If you show up and put in a bit of time, it gets easier. Second, it's overcoming a mental barrier. What I mean is, when most of us have bad days, our brain automatically says, okay, can't be done today. Stop, we're done. But if you just work through it, you don't take these bad days so seriously anymore. And that means you're more likely to stick with your language learning goal. This brings us to the next point. Third, it's your best work because working on a bad day only strengthens your habit of language learning. Remember, habits are what will help you master a language over time. If you can stick to a habit on a bad day, your habit only gets stronger, and it will lead you to fluency. And finally, fourth, it just feels good to overcome something. Imagine you have a bad day, but you still put in 10 minutes of language learning. It's a real sense of achievement. And it doesn't matter if you do a 10-minute lesson or a 5-minute lesson. The fact that you made some progress on a bad day will give you the motivation you need to keep going. Now, speaking of lessons, here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the Best of 2018 Language Learning Cheat Sheets. If you want to get access to all of our conversation cheat sheets that we sent out this year, here's your chance. Download this PDF bundle right now. Next, the brand new Supermarket Cheat Sheet. With this cheat sheet, you'll learn must-know shopping phrases and vocab for meats, vegetables, and all products that you'll find in a supermarket. And finally, the most common adjectives. If you're a beginner and don't yet know these adjectives, then this is a perfect chance to boost your vocabulary. This 1-minute lesson will get them stuck in your head, guaranteed. To get these free lessons and resources, just click the link in the description below. All right, everyone. Now we're asking you to submit a video or audio file of yourself speaking the language. If you do, you'll win 3 free months of access to our learning program, which includes your very own teacher. Here's the challenge for you. Yes, everyone watching this. Record a 30-second to 1-minute video or audio clip. Introduce yourself in the language. Share your name, where you're from, and why you're studying this language. And you'll win a 3-month Premium Plus subscription. To submit, click on the link in the description. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Then, fill out the form. Attach the audio or video file, and press submit. We may feature you in next month's episode. So a lot of learners will see you and your progress, and will hopefully get inspired to improve and master the language. To submit a recording, click the link in the description and follow the instructions on the page. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to set achievable language learning goals and resolutions. In the meantime, submit your recording if you're brave. Like and share this video, and leave a comment to tell us what language learning tactics you'd like us to talk about. See you next time. Bye! You probably already have language learning goals, but the real key to success is to make the right goals. In this video, I'll show you how, with 5 tips to stop wasting your time and start learning. Hi everyone, Alicia here. In this video, I'll teach you 5 tips to stop procrastinating and keep your motivation for learning a new language. Some of these are study methods, and some will be general ways that you can keep your study motivation up. While these tips are for studying a language, some of them are good for other things in your life too, such as new challenges or other types of goals. But before we start, don't forget to click the link in the description to get your bundle of PDF cheat sheets, including survival phrases, romantic lines, learning tips, absolutely free. Now, you probably already have some goals you're trying to achieve when it comes to your language learning progress. While achieving these goals is important, making sure you make the right goals is the real key to success. The very first tip is to set SMART goals. SMART is an acronym, meaning each letter in the word stands for another word. The earliest known reference to SMART goals was in an article written by George T. Doran for a 1981 issue of the Management Review Academic Journal. The acronym varies depending on its use, but each letter generally stands for some criterion that helps with effective goal setting. For our purposes, let's define SMART goals as follows. The S stands for specific. Your goals should target a specific area for improvement. Our natural tendency is to have a goal that's very general. If your goal isn't specific enough, you'll lack the focus and proper direction you need to achieve your goals. So S is for specific. M stands for measurable. Your goals should be quantifiable. They should be able to indicate progress in some way. You have to be able to track your progress, otherwise you won't know if you're getting any closer to your goal. As you see yourself getting closer and closer to your goal, your motivation will go up. So your goals need to be measurable. A stands for achievable. Your goals have to be achievable. Many people want to become fluent in their target language immediately. However, this goal is unrealistic. Your goals have to be achievable. If your goal is too challenging for your current level, it will only demotivate you when you aren't where you think you should be. Instead, think about what results can realistically be achieved given your level, your resources, and any constraints, such as time. So make sure that your goal is actually achievable. R stands for relevant. Your goals may be specific, they may be measurable, and they may be achievable, but are they actually relevant to what you want to achieve? Don't just do a lot of things. If you're focused on improving your speaking skills in your target language, make sure that you spend your time having conversations with others. Make sure you're doing the right things so that your efforts actually bring you closer to your goal instead of just giving you more work. T stands for timely. You need to set a deadline for your goals. If you don't specify when you plan to achieve the result you've set for yourself, it's very easy to put off the task. You can delay it until tomorrow, the next week, or the next month, and at this rate, you'll never get things done. So your goal must have an end date. So remember, tip number 1 is to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So, for example, a goal you could make is registering for a challenging test, a test that's a little bit beyond your current level. I hate failing, so if I register for a challenging test, I'm motivated to study because I don't want to fail. This is a good example of a SMART goal because tests are specific. There are tons of different tests focused on speaking, grammar, and comprehension. Pick a test that can measure the specific area in which you'd like to grow. Measurable. Tests are measurable. Every test measures your performance to some degree. Whether it's a total count of right and wrong answers or a simple pass or fail, every test measures your performance. Tests are achievable. There's an important detail to remember here, though. Find a test that is achievable for you. If you're a beginner, then the most advanced test is probably not right for you. Find one that's meant for beginners. Then, after that one, work your way up to more advanced tests in the future. Tests are relevant. Most, if not all, language tests are designed to ensure that you're capable of performing to a set standard in your target language. Lower-level tests are designed to ensure that you can handle the most essential aspects of your target language. But there are tests for all levels, including higher education entry exams that could be difficult, even for native speakers. Pick the one that's right for you. And finally, tests are timely. If your test is completed in a physical location, then this one is obvious. You have to be at that spot at the set time, ready to take the test. There's no wiggle room. But even online tests will most likely have a deadline for you to complete them. The second tip to help you stop procrastinating and to keep your motivation up is to create a diary or social media account that you can update every day. This may seem simple or even unrelated to language learning, but by creating a diary in your target language, you have the chance to actually create in the language itself. Creating a diary is also a great way to practice writing in your target language. Another method is to create a social media account, which gives you the chance to connect with other people who are working toward the same goals as you. Maybe they can even give you feedback on your writing. If you're following people online who regularly share good resources, those can be really helpful for you too. It lets you find new tools that can encourage and motivate you, especially if they relate to some of your other interests, such as music or books in other languages. This is a really good way to take a few minutes every day to work towards your goal, without it even seeming like work. The third tip is to focus on understanding a specific TV show or movie. Try to watch a movie in your target language without any subtitles, or try to understand your favorite TV show that's in your target language. If you don't already have a goal like this, it can be a fun way to practice. If your friends often talk about a particular TV show, it could be a good way to study, and a fun way to keep your motivation up together. Plus, TV shows and movies often use the language in a way that's vastly different from the conversations provided in traditional textbooks, so you often get to hear different vocabulary choices. It's a very powerful way to learn a language and end up sounding more like a native speaker. Tip number 4 is to enroll in a regular language course. Register for something you have to go to or you have to participate in regularly, meaning every week or 2 times a week or maybe even every day. The point of this is it's something that gives you a pattern to follow. Forming a study habit will help you progress very quickly. It will make it easier for you to achieve your language learning goals. Once you form the habit, you won't even have to think about starting each time. It'll just be natural. Have something that you must take responsibility for. You'll be more motivated to continue if there are others, especially classmates or a teacher, watching you progress. Look for resources inside your community, and if there are no opportunities there, look for things digitally. You can find many of our videos on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course, our entire video and audio lesson library on our website. The lessons on our website also come with assignment courses, so you can test your knowledge. The last tip is to make your goal public. Share your goal. Tell people about your goal. For example, if you want to give a business presentation in your target language this year, then tell your colleagues or your boss about it. Some people may find what you're doing interesting, and they can support you. This kind of pressure can help push people forward who have trouble motivating themselves alone. By telling others about your goal, you'll feel more accountable. Because you told somebody that you were planning on doing something, there's an underlying sense of guilt if you don't accomplish the task. You may feel that you have failed your peers in some way, even if there's no direct pressure from them. Using this technique, you can push yourself into moving forward toward your goal, especially at times when you feel the least motivated. And that brings us to the end of our 5 tips to stop wasting time and start learning a language. We've talked a lot about how to set goals for yourself and think about new challenges. First, I told you about creating SMART goals. Remember, SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Registering for a test is a great example of a SMART goal. Next, we talked about keeping a diary or social media account in your target language. Start doing it right now, even if you're still a beginner. Then, I suggested that you focus on understanding a specific TV show or movie. Pick something in your target language that you really love, because you may need to watch it over and over again until it all makes sense to you. And next, we talked about enrolling in a regular language course. This will give you something concrete that you must take responsibility for. Finally, make your goal public. Tell someone about your learning goals to keep you accountable for them. You're much less likely to abandon your studies if you have friends asking you about your progress. I hope that these are useful tips that you can use to reach your language learning goals. And before we go, let me remind you to download tons of free PDF lessons to learn the language the fast, fun, and easy way. Just click the link in the description. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with anyone who may find it useful. Do you have any good tips that you've used to help you reach your goals? Share them in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.